Yes, we'll have the special council meeting right now, and yes, we should talk about timing. So let's deal with the items. The agenda is in front of you. There are 3 items that have come forward from the financing the corporate services. Someone prepared to move those first 3 items? By Councillor Singh, second by Councillor Galloway-Seelock. Discussion on those 3 items. Seeing none, we're not.
Oh, pardon me.
Sorry.
I forgot.
I don't have
Councillor,
the queue, so I would know.
Councillor Gazzola, yes.
Okay, Councillor Gazzola.
Yeah, no, I would like to remove that item and let it go its normal course. 2 weeks is not going to be.
All right.
I've been opposed all along to issues being dealt with and not given their fair 1 week, and in this case, 2 weeks time for.
Okay, in order to deal with that, are you moving a deferral?
I'm moving deferral
to the 26th of August
to the
for that.
26th of August.
For the 3rd item.
Yes.
Okay, we'll deal with that item first.
Okay, and actually I have Councillor Fernandez. Is it on the same item?
Councillor Fernandez.
I just wanted to understand a little bit more, because I do feel when I was reading this, I'm thinking, what is this all about? So, in order to have a bit more understanding about that, I would like a little bit of time. So, I have no idea what this is about, and I think that seeing the 2 different perspectives, I think it's important for not only me but others to understand what it's all about.
All right. Moving, there's a motion for deferral. Are you seconding that motion? Okay. Motion then we're dealing with is simply the deferral.
Recorded vote, please.
Recorded vote's been called for. I guess I have to come over there, Councillor.
Oh, okay.
Well, can we stand up and do a recorded vote rather than you having to move? Can we just stand
Second.
up?
Okay. All right. It hasn't been switched, so we can
Okay.
stay here. Recorded vote's been called for. We'll deal with it that way, electronically, as we always have. This is strictly for the deferral. Okay. Has everyone voted? It is a tie vote. A tie vote is lost. That's our rules of procedure. So it will therefore be dealt with today. Okay, then we will deal with them separately, or we'll take the first 2 items first, in case someone wants to vote differently. Those in favor of items 1 and 2, that's carried. Item number 3, those
recorded vote, please.
Recorded vote's been asked for. So item number 3. Just say that if you deal with this, if it is defeated at this point in time, in order for it to come back, it would require a motion for reconsideration. Okay. That motion is therefore carried. Item number 4, Councillor Vrbanovich. I don't think you have to read it in whole, but go ahead.
So I won't be reading the motion. Council has.
Oh, sorry. I keep thinking Mayor's there.
No worries. I won't bother reading it because I think Council has read the motion. I will just add that we add in the first paragraph the words "the Canadian Pacific Railway," because I learned after the printing of this that actually the one spur that goes out towards the former Kitchener Frame lands out behind Fairway and so on is actually CP Railway spur as opposed to CN or GXR. And really the motion speaks to 2 issues. One, supporting the work that FCM is doing on railway safety. It's a file that they've been engaged in for many years but has reached much more prominence in the last number of weeks after the tragedy in Lac Mégantic, as well as the situation in Calgary post their floods. And secondly, looking to have the railways act proactively in the meantime and provide necessary information to our fire department so that they have the info they need from a emergency preparedness point of view. And that would be something that obviously they would, I'm not specifying what that necessary information is. That's something that they would work through with our fire chief. I would presume it primarily focuses around volume of particular content and traffic in our community. It's my understanding that on average we have about one train a day coming in on freight train coming in on each of those two main lines, one in the south, one in the north, through the community. And so I'll move that.
Is there a seconder? Councillor Ioannidis. Any discussion?
Lots. Councillor Fernandez.
Just a quick question on this. Are we talking, I guess I'm wondering if this is going to add more work to Chief Beckett's job description? Does it require more time? What are the ramifications for our staff? As well as we're focusing on rail, but we do have multitudes of trucks that come in and out of the city that are carrying all kinds of toxic chemicals and flammable materials. Where does that place us with regard to that? And how do we oversee those?
Chief Beckett.
Through you, Mr. Chair. In terms of the workload, it will add some workload, but I'm not at this point in time. I'm not sure to what extent, because we haven't had that discussion with the railways to find out exactly what it means, what it will entail, and what it looks like. So it's going to take some time to I guess, investigate and look into that. As for our roadways, Transportation Dangerous Goods Act requires all vehicles to be placarded, and they will carry manifests in the units, including the railways. That when we do have incidents on site, that we're able to at least gather placard information, which will give us an indication of what they're carrying, and then we can set up our operations based on that information. In order to keep track of all the dangerous goods that travel through our city on vehicles, it would be absolutely impossible to do. And I think working with railways, we know when the trains are going to be coming through. We can at least know their manifests of what they're carrying. If nothing else, that if we do have an incident, we may not be able to prevent the incident, but we'll be able to know what we're dealing with.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Yanetsky.
Yeah, question to Chief Beckett again, just further on this. My concern was also with regards to vehicular truck traffic that's coming through here unexpectedly or passing through. So do all truck vehicles have a label on it telling what they're carrying, that you have an idea as to what you're going to be dealing with?
Through you, Mr. Chair, anything that's dealing with dangerous goods, and it's defined under the Transportation of Dangerous Goods Act,
right.
Will have a placarding. So if it's not a dangerous good that falls under that act, we have no idea what it is, and it shouldn't be any concern.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't want to know what's coming through here.
I'm sorry?
No, I'm not.
So basically dealing with vehicular traffic, truck traffic, dealing those dangerous goods, also the train coming through, are you able to handle any type of incident that would come up from the chemicals or material that they are using that you're able to handle in the future? Or is there items that the fire department thinks that, well, we really can't handle this because we don't have the resources or way of putting it out? And I don't know what they would be.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I'm trying to think of a good answer for that. I would say that in order to deal with every possible incident that may occur out there, no, we're not able to handle that with the resources that we have on hand. We would look at each incident individually and then utilize the resourcing that's made available. And if we can't use our own resources and require others, that's when we declare an emergency within the community and then can look to the province to use other additional resources. So we have lots of options in front of us. I'm confident in our staff and in our service that we provide right now that we'd be able to handle most incidents, but any catastrophe such as we saw in Quebec would be beyond probably anybody's resources and would be looking to outside resources for help.
Right. It was noted in the paper just last week that the fire chief at Waterloo has been sworn to secrecy of knowing what's coming through. Have you had any connections with that? Or if you do get that information, are you held by secret that we can't do anything about it and it's just you and your staff that have to address that? Is this really the right way to go?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Again, we haven't had any dealings with the railways as of yet in terms of what their manifests are. So these are all agreements that we would have to look at. And if we were to obtain that information, it might be through some confidentiality agreements that are put into place that, we don't want the public, and I don't mean it to say that we don't want the public to be safe. We want the public to be safe, but if that information was to turn up in the wrong hands, then there could be other areas that of concern, i.e. terrorism, sabotage, things like that may take place.
Right.
So you got to protect everything, and I do believe the transportation of dangerous goods over rail has been safe in the city of Kitchener, but anything is possible.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Any further questions? Councillor Singh.
Yes, thank you. I have no questions. I think the motion is very clear. Just want to commend Councillor Rabinovich to bring this forward. And from the very unfortunate incident that happened in Quebec, I think this is a learning step forward, and it's appropriate to put in protocols that would enhance public safety. So we'll definitely support this.
Those in favour?
Oh, sorry.
Recorded vote has been asked for. You mean now vote? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Motion to go into caucus for those items. Councillor Ioannidis, Councillor Davey. Those in favour? Opposed? That's carried. We'll adjourn.
Sorry, Mayor, is there a timing
Sorry.
for?
Oh, hang on. Sorry. I forgot about bylaws. Bylaws for 3 readings, moved by Councillor Izansky, second by Councillor Davey. Those in favour? Opposed? And the one we just dealt with, the bylaw. This is related to the lot maintenance. Okay. Those in favour again? Opposed? That's carried.
And what time are you convening?